Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the February 21st Board of Assessors meeting in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. Mike?
Good morning. Last week's minutes, just about everything that's on here is carried over from our last meeting. The first being deed and map changes. I notified you guys last time that the deeds were being changed on the system and that the few map changes that we do have are being sent to CAI for our yearly changes. So those will be ready to be sent out by the end of the week.
So they're working on that
Yes.
name issue on the project?
Yeah, that they haven't sent a project tag, they call it a tag, but everything's, I mean, the money is there. By me responding to the email, gave them a go ahead to start working on it. So that should be fine. I'll wait for them to get back to me. Hopefully, I mean, it has to be before the fiscal year starts because that money is earmarked for that particular project.
Okay.
Yep, so that's a go. Number three, we went over the annual report and the budget last time. Those have been submitted. Those are both were due last week. There was a number 4 motor vehicle. I think it probably is the last one for 2022, the very first one for 2023, which is the large one. I think those bills are going out today. Okay. So there will be the large motor vehicle excise tax commitment in the mail today. So the people will be getting their motor vehicle bills for 2023 in the mail this week. Number 5, abatement certificates to sign from the ones that you approved out last week or the last meeting we had. Same thing with the exemptions for number 6. I did send number 7, a letter to Berkshire Scenic Railway Museum on the decision that was made on their tax exemption appeal. That went out in the mail on Friday. Number 8, there is a personal property, a few uncollectibles. Basically, one's a duplicate and one is a second home that we picked up that shouldn't have been picked up.
So they're really not uncollectibles, they are just,
Yeah, because there's no abatement file because it's an internal mistake, really. The first that first one was a duplicate, so they already got a bill. They were just under a different name. They had 2 different business names. Number 9, we discussed this at our last meeting, the real estate tax exemption options that are available, and we were going to get into it a little bit more detail. I actually think we should just wait until the next meeting on that. I still don't have the spreadsheet ready, and I actually have a couple questions into town council, to Donna Brewer, about what we would have to do if we would have to rescind the 41 and the 17 that we have because we have the cost of living add-on in order to increase the exemption from 500 to 1,000 under a regular 41, and the state would reimburse us only for the portion that's the statutory part, right, and we would have to pick up the additional part. That I'm not sure of because we've had the 41 D and the 17E extension for almost 20 years where we've increased the amount on the lower amount by the cost of living adjustment, and we increased the 41 elderly income level by the cost of living adjustment. So what I believe the selectmen are looking for before the town meeting and before the warrant is drafted is exactly what we have, exactly what if there's any recommendations for increasing what we can legally increase, and whether the town should look into what we talked about last time, which was the clause 41C, of which there is no equity requirements, only income requirements, and that that we had touched upon a little, like, maybe that's opening Pandora's box a bit. There's only 2 other communities in Massachusetts that has that. And we had mentioned that, it's also our job to make sure that we maintain the overlay account and that we don't have to increase that excessively to make up for the ones that we're not going to get reimbursed for. That needs more discussion. And I believe that's also one of the topics that the selectmen would like us to discuss before the town meeting. Any changes to the clauses has to be by town meeting vote. So we will definitely have that ready to go at our next meeting, and you guys can decide whether or not, it's too early to make a decision to keep what we have or to, move forward with adjustments. I know one adjustment that we can make easily, again, still has to go to town meeting vote, is under the 41A tax deferral, which is to lower the interest. We had discussed this previously, and I know the select board has too, to lower the interest on a deferral down to the lowest amount that you can legally go, and increasing the income threshold to be in line with the circuit breaker program, which is determined by, I believe it's on the state income tax when you file it, what that level is, and to bring it up. That's what most communities have done. Lower the interest rate, bring up the income threshold as high as you possibly can, so more people would qualify for a tax deferral. We've never had any applicants for a tax deferral. Doesn't mean we wouldn't. It is available. It's something that you don't have to act upon. It is already part of every municipality. We just have to be prepared if someone were to come in to discuss that with the board. And we have the applications, but again, it isn't something that you easily jump into because it is a big decision on, ownership of your home and what could affect it. So we can go over that. Are you okay with just tabling it until the next meeting? So we have a better idea of what Donna has to say and where we legally can go with, because not every community has the same exemptions. Some adopt a lower 17, some don't. Some have the higher 41. We have basically everything except for the 41C and a half. That one is not in effect along with the residential exemption. So I'll put that on for the next agenda. Number 10, I know there was an email that came through, Tom, if you wanted to give an update on the tax exemption pilot program.
Sure. Thank you, Mike. Peter Strauss, who's here with us,
Hi, Peter.
and I, as co-chairs, have tweaked the questionnaire, revised the former one we had. We've made several tweaks. Peter, I have to say, has made some very good suggestions and edits on it. So thank you, Peter, for that. We had a couple questions about who to approach first, and there's at least one person on our list we wanted to run by the Board of Selectmen, made sure they were okay with us reaching out to them because of other pending issues they might have, and they've given their green light. So our initial 8 not-for-profits are going out this week, and we will proceed with helping people through the questionnaires, and then after the questionnaires are done, we're going to have in-person interviews or Zoom meetings with each of them, a more detailed, just to try to get as much input as we can. So the 8 groups we've started are all groups that we've had some communication with before. Others who have not communicated with us will be the second tier. And then we will also be reaching out to other stakeholders, such as second homeowners, and business interests in Stockbridge, because they're involved and they pay taxes too. And we will have 1 or 2 public meetings before the annual town meeting. We're still hoping to have our report done by then. Peter, would you like to add anything?
Well, just a couple things. The folks on the first list include, I think, all of the outfits that charge for events or charge for admission at their places, which strikes me, and I think also Tom, as offering a particular claim on payments in lieu of taxes. Tanglewood isn't there, and it isn't there because of the uncertainty about its leadership. We will get to them later. The other thing I'll say has nothing to do with the pilot program, but you were talking about the excise taxes going out this week, Mike. They actually went out over the network earlier, and I've already paid mine.
Oh, yeah.
There's there was a coordination difficulty in a way with the excise taxes. UniPay does not give you your bill number, so it was kind of frustrating to figure out how do I pay this with the UniPay device. And I think the town treasurer told me that she would be working with UniPay to see if that glitch couldn't be corrected.
Yeah, that all goes through them. Any of the payment system is with the tax collector's office. She should be able to straighten that out or look into it.
Yeah. But anyway, those of us with email accounts at least have all received our excise tax assessments already.
Okay.
Fortunately, I got mine before we bought our new, more expensive automobile.
Did you lease it? Because you can file for an abatement if you had it. Well, you can file an abatement and see if you'd have a refund coming to you.
No, I won't have a refund coming to me, I'm sure. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, and is there anybody else zoomed in? No. Okay, so do you want to go to executive session?
Bye-bye.
Does anybody have anything to say in the public piece before we go into executive session? Tom or?
I do not.
Okay, well, then at this point, I would entertain a motion, one, to leave the public portion of our meeting and move into executive session per Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A7, to discuss and review fiscal year 23 exemptions and fiscal year 23 real estate and personal property abatements for the following tax bill numbers. Number 1461, 1107, 1131, 283, 1800, 771, 1555, 1369, 741, 742, 744, 1514, and 233. And also, when we're done with this portion, we will not return to open session, and we will adjourn going out of the executive session. So all those a motion to do that. So
moved.
Second. All those in favor, chair votes aye.
Aye.
Gary.
Hi, Doug.
So moved.